My music journey began around 2004 while listening to an interview with an up-and-coming local musician on the radio. I could hear the strain and torment of a struggling artist describing the difficult time he was having creating a career in music. Even now, some 14 years later, I still recall the sadness I felt for the plight of this musician. He was talented, produced high-quality music, performed at venues around the country, yet he still could barely survive as an artist and was earning less than a basic salary. How could this be, I asked myself. Everyone listens to music. It's the most popular pastime in the world today. Billions and billions of people listen to music every day. In fact, music keeps most of us sane. Then I recalled my marketing and economic studies and began thinking of the laws of supply and demand. Yes, boring, I know, but it was a conundrum. If something is popular and in high demand, economic theory says you can charge more money for it and therefore make a profitable career from it. I said to myself, something is wrong with the music industry, and so began the journey I am still on today. Subconsciously, I began to work on solving this problem. Fairness, equality, a fair pay for a fair day's work are important beliefs to me. I do not like injustice, and I despise exploitation. I worked in complex problem-solving environments every day, working on large-scale computer systems for big companies, and I found this challenging and enjoyable. Way back in my youth, I was also good at art, but business was always my passion. I wanted to change the world. Can you believe that? I often recall buying business magazines and reading articles about entrepreneurs. I always dreamt of being one of these business icons when I grew up. Of course, the real world is more challenging than reading a magazine and dreaming. I needed to be creative, it was in my blood, but I like business too. So I decided to take a path of being creative in business. And this is the other journey I'm still on today. At first, working on the music problem was just now and then, or when I found an interesting article on music. I started paying more attention to articles and stories on musicians and the decreasing revenues in global music. Slowly, I could start to see the size of the problem musicians and music corporations were facing. The digital age brought in many great advances, but at the same time it was undermining the foundations traditional music models were built upon. Music was one of the industry's hardest hit over the last 20 years. Apple iTunes was supposed to be the saviour of the music industry, slaying the demons of piracy, illegal downloads and falling revenues. But after many years it has not turned out that way. It slowed the inevitable tide of change, but it did not nearly solve the problem. Over time, I slowly developed my business plan. It was put on hold year on year, but gradually I started solving each problem one after the other. The single biggest problem, of course, was finding a new economic model for music, instead of the traditional sell an album or go on tour models. In fact, it was mid-2012 before I actually had a fully fledged business plan with financial projections ready for review and comment by carefully chosen business professionals. Once I had a solution, a new problem emerged: time, an issue I was already fighting with in my time-limited life. My existing commitments took priority. Then in late 2012 I hit a big hurdle. From 2012 to 2017 I became ill with chronic fatigue, the single biggest thing which has put this whole concept on hold since 2012. In late 2018 I am determined to work on this business concept, realise it and make it a success. By putting different out-of-the-square business concepts together, I created a totally unique way to monetize music. One which was powerful and complemented by the dilemmas of the digital age undermining traditional music models. In the music world of today, we have hundreds and hundreds of new approaches to music, but they still have one common problem. They still cannot pay artists fairly for their work. Many artists get no payment for their music at all, giving away for free in the hope of getting a break or being discovered. Sadly, many artists just get broken. Even the most successful artists of today only make a fraction of what they should be making for their music. So, it's time for change. I have waited many years for someone to replicate my new music concept. No one has come forward with anything similar. I am passionate about artists' well-being and I want to see genuine change in music distribution and the ability for all artists to have a profitable career in music if they want one. Today I stand before you with an entirely new approach to music which has never been attempted before. I have a unique solution for artists struggling around the world and many stakeholders also battling financially. The business models used in the global music industry are fundamentally flawed and have been for a long time now. I still see the problems talented artists face every day to simply want to be paid for their work. I know there is a solution, my solution. So here I am, not just stepping on the global stage, reluctantly I must admit, but also a little excited, but jumping, screaming and shouting, "Look at me!" In 2011, Richard Branson spoke at a conference in Brisbane, Australia, and he literally said, "You have to do whatever you need to get publicity and draw attention to yourself and your product." I never thought this would be me, but here I am. I have pondered long and hard on how to make this concept work and launch it successfully in today's complex business world full of billion-dollar companies. If I try to start small and grow, in the process revealing my unique business models, my wealthy competitors will simply copy it, put billions of dollars into it and run away with it. This would be great for these companies' bottom lines, but would artists really be better off? How do these companies treat artists today? I see many lawsuits in progress around the world, so the answer is not so great. To put it simply, you need billions of dollars to compete with billion-dollar companies. For this project to be successful, I'm asking for billions of dollars from the global public in order to deliver a significant change that would be impossible to achieve otherwise. It's time for a change, an entirely new approach, and I believe I have developed it, and it's ready to go. All I need is your help to make my dream a reality and usher in an entirely new era for music in the 21st century.
There's a better way! The